Hey, this is Will and Well Armed. We're at Iraqi Veteran 8888 Range Day, and I'm here with Mike at CMMG, and we're looking at some of their rifles. Of course, they're loudest. We're going to start with that. Mike, can you tell us what you got?
Well, so this is always the crowd favorite. So whenever we come to this event, if we don't bring this gun, people will be mad at us.
No, they would.
So that's our Mark 47. So that's chambered in 7.62 by 39. Takes the AK style magazine, 12.5 inch. These particular ones happen to be full auto, so they like making a lot of ruckus. Fun thing, we've already broke a couple optics today. So they're kind of abusive and kind of loud, but you know, when you shoot them, they're actually very manageable. So they're incredible.
Now will MRO survive it?
I literally just put that on there, so I borrowed that from a friend down the line a little bit, and hopefully I get to turn it back to him in good shape. So
I bought 2 of them, but it's got a lifetime warranty regardless.
It does. I've got a couple of them myself. Thankfully, Optics Planet was nice enough to let us borrow that since we broke one.
Okay.
I run them, but my personal guns aren't full auto, so I'm not quite as abusive as this one
have any
is.
full auto?
I don't really need to when I can come do this type of stuff.
Right. All right.
And you said we have the loud ones. Well, this one is just about as loud too.
Now what is this?
So this is one of our new Descents. So this is our new compact action. As you can see, no buffer system or anything on it.
Right.
It's all contained inside the upper here.
So the recoil is going that way. It's got a reverse.
Well, I mean, so it's got a bolt kind of like you would see on a standard bolt carrier without the back end of it, and it's actually got a dual spring setup and guide rod and spring setup on the top.
Okay. So where is the smoke coming out? Is there any advantage for a suppressor or not really?
Not really at the moment. I mean, it's still, so in this case, this is still a gas system.
Okay.
So we have this available in 3 calibers. So this one's a 5.56. 6.5 inch barrel 5.56 is quite the barker.
It is.
And honestly, if
nice
6.5 inch barrel, I really wouldn't recommend it suppressed either, because most manufacturers of suppressors don't exactly like that setup.
Yep.
But we also have it in 300 blackout, which does have an adjustable gas block, and then we also have our radio delay blowback 5.7 available. So those are our 3 calibers on the Descent right now.
Oh, so 5.7 is radial blowback.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
Yep. So that's the radio delay blowback has been a very popular platform for us.
A little quieter.
Yeah. A little quieter, a little less recoil impulse to it also.
Okay.
So the 5.56 is just, this one's just a ton of fun.
And so with that, you don't need the riser. You could just almost shoot a regular pistol red dot.
Yeah, so that's actually the way we ship them. So it does come with a Picatinny rail on the back. This particular one is an SBR. It's not a full auto version. So we put a JMAC Customs side folder on it. You can put braces or whatever you want on it, but we do not ship it with any option like that. So it comes just from here forward.
And not even.
Nope, just the Picatinny plate.
Okay.
So
this is a HR, HK swivel kind of deal.
Kind of, yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Good. Now what's next in line?
Now this next one is a ton of fun. People hear me say what this is, and they kind of chuckle. They're like, no, really, what is it? I'm like, this is a 4.5 inch barrel designated 22 with our DEFCAN 22 suppressor under the handguard, and this guy happens to be full auto.
How easy is it to maintain that 22?
As far as the suppressor itself, it's actually pretty easy. It's a direct thread unit, and it's a monocore internal. Okay. So it's just take the outer shielding off and take it apart and deep clean it.
Dip it in serious chemical and dry it off.
Yep, pretty much. I mean, sonic cleaners are our friend.
Yeah,
especially when it comes to suppressors, especially when it comes to 22, because 22 gets so dirty and so fouled so quick. But that thing, like the guys down here, these guys are loud and obnoxious, and as I jokingly say, when you shoot one of those, you kind of want to let that Tim Allen grunt when you get done shooting it. Yeah. This one, you can't help but to giggle. It's just like, it's so much fun. It's just like, that is the way to go.
I got an El Camino still in jail, so.
Yeah. And then finally down here, we've got our radio delay blowback 9mm. So this particular one is using our AR9 conversion magazines. So this allows you to run the 9mm in a standard AR-15 magazine well.
Okay, so is that your magazine?
It's something we worked with. So actually Mean Arms is located right down the line here. Yeah. So they have their Endomag, and we worked with them to optimize it for our radio delay blowback operating system.
Okay. So it's different than the standard 9mm?
It is. Yeah, so 9s forever have been what traditional, or what they call straight blowback.
Yeah.
So this actually has, if you were to take this apart, it looks a lot more like a standard AR-15 bolt. There's actually chamfers on the back side of the bolt lugs here that allow for a little bit of bleed off of the pressure as it's starting to cycle.
Okay.
And that little bit of bleed off just delays the system. So the nice thing is you have a significantly lighter bolt carrier group than you typically would in your standard AR, or at least the AR-9.
PLF does that, but they don't call it a delayed blowback.
Right?
Yeah, but it's the same concept. It makes it easier to extract, right?
Well, I mean, this just gives it a lighter recoil impulse.
Okay.
So with this particular setup, you don't have to have the heavier 9mm buffer, and you don't have the heavier bolt. So you actually have less reciprocating mass inside there.
All right.
So it actually gives you a lighter recoil impulse, so it makes it more manageable for...
Same buffer as...
Yeah, so our 9mm is a standard AR buffer.
Okay, nice.
And you can also use, we have what we call the action tuning kit, which are a set of 3 different weights you can choose that you can put into the back of the carrier to add weight to it if you want, which actually helps you tune it for things like if you're running it suppressed, or if you're running hotter loads than normal, or whatever.
How much is that?
That little kit's $25.
So a lot cheaper than what's the other company that sells those for?
Well, as opposed to doing like a whole different buffer and spring setup and all that stuff, it's literally just a weight to go in, so it keeps it super simple.
Yeah, but I've got one I use for my LWRC, and it was having a hard time with the shooting on silencer.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's pretty simple. We just have a big fat roll pin. You just put the weight in the back of the carrier, hit the roll pin with a big old hammer, and just you'll have to tune it to which one you got. But you get to, when you get the kit, it's got all 3 weights in it. You just have to figure out which one works best for you.
Can I buy just the kit?
What's that?
Can I buy just the kit?
Just the weight kit?
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, it's literally just it's little weights that go in the back of the carrier. So as long as your carrier is drilled for it, you can do it.
Oh, so I have to have the carrier.
Yeah.
Okay, I get it.
Or you can modify your carrier. I've actually modified my personal 5.56 carrier to use that action tuning kit. So.
All right. Yeah. So all CMMGs are made for that kit?
Right now it's primarily just all of our radial delay blowback operating stuff. So all the stuff that doesn't run normal gas systems.
Pistol caliber.
Yeah, so our 9s, 40, 45, 10mm, and 5.7 all use that.
Okay. Great. Well, this is great. And like I said, this is the #1 booth at Range Day today. And always has the longest
We always
line.
try.
Yeah.
I think it's just because we're loud and obnoxious and everybody wants to know what is going on down here.
And they put you at the far end.
They put us down here early on, and we've just we fell in love with it. We're like, this is our spot. Whenever Brandy calls me and she's like, hey, are you going to join the event again this year? I say, yeah. She goes, do you want your same spot? I'm like, yep.
Yeah.
But the funny thing is, too, is most of the time, whoever our neighbor is each year is not our neighbor next year. They hear how loud and obnoxious we are, and they don't come back. Or they come back way down there.
Yeah. Hi. All right. Hey, this is Will Well Armed. Have a great day, and be prepared. There you go. Awesome. That's it. Hey, as a reminder, all my t-shirts designs have moved over to ballisticink.com/wield. You'll be able to find all my t-shirts there. As you can see, all the new designs as well. Please help support the channel.